All right, guys, here's a quick tutorial on how to set this up in Procreate so that you can make a cut file. All right, so what I have here is I just made some really basic shapes just to show you. You can create a design that has multiple colors. That's fine. You can create a design that has multiple colors on top of each other, like actually layered, like these are, and that's fine as well. But you need to do it in a specific sort of way. Every color needs to be on its own layer, because when we import these into the Cricut design space, we're going to have to import this shape first, and then we would turn this off and turn this one and on and import that one next, and then turn this one on and import that one next, and then turn this one on and import that one next. Okay, so there's no way to make this whole design in one shot, transfer it over to the Cricut design space app, which is what we need in order to actually cut it, and then break it up from there. So when we make it, we need to make it so that we can break it up into the pieces that will be each color. We also need to think about solid colors. It has to be a solid color. It can't be like a gradient. It can't be like shaded, because you are literally just cutting. The machine just cuts the material, and then the material is ironed onto the mask. So you need to think about it in those terms, okay? I mean, that limits you a little bit, but not a ton. You can still do so much with this technique, okay? So what you're going to do is you go ahead and design your design however you want. I would stay away from like anything like this, you guys, that has like these weird, add another layer, like lines like this. That's not going to cut well. I would use nice solid brushes, like that would cut well, okay? Not brushes that are like jaggedy on the ends. That's not a good example, okay? Or brushes like these that have multiple small lines. You don't want to deal with that, okay? So think solid shapes, think solid lines. Less texture is going to cut for you better. I also would suggest making things a little bit bigger, especially because we're going to be working on a small mask. And if you make a line that is this small, number one, it's going to be virtually impossible to weed, meaning like get out of the material. And number two, it may not stick to the mask as well as a line that would be like this thick would stick to the mask better, and it won't like fall off after a while, okay? So these are just some things to think about. You can do text, you could do shapes, you could do all kinds of things. There's so many things you could do, okay? So get creative, right? Remember, you're making two designs, one for yourself, like personal, to go on your own mask, whatever you would like, appropriate to school, of course, and one that you think a lot of people would want to purchase and or wear. So think about that as well, okay? All right, have fun with it. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with.